There are just some people I think should just be placed in prison automatically. You know, like if we brought back those types of work labor prisons that we saw in the movie Life, and they were just designed for those specific people I'm about to name, I completely wouldn't mind that at all. People who drive and distract themselves by streaming. These are usually people who literally record themselves live, and they're usually just talking about some bullshit, and they're driving on highways, on public roads, all that kind of stuff, endangering the lives of others because they're, while they're streaming, they're getting distracted by the road. And this has resulted in thousands of cases of, people almost getting into car accidents. Unfortunately, or actually fortunately, there hasn't been a streamer that's actually killed someone yet. But given the case of probability and how the world works, there is a good chance that there will be a case where a streamer does accidentally kill someone in a car accident. Now, why did I say unfortunately? Why is it unfortunate that they haven't caused an accident yet that has, been on like a large scale? Well, that's because, society or our government or whoever won't do anything about this situation until an accident happens. That's the case anyway. I mean, what happens when these people drive in public and and almost cause an accident? Well, they usually just get banned off of a social media platform like Twitch or whatever. Getting banned off of social media, or at least from a specific platform, is not a real punishment. I mean, for one, the person can easily just make another account anyway. But two, there's other platforms to move on to. Recently, I watched this video from Adosa Buckley. He is one of my favorite rant YouTube channels, and he talked about this case with one streamer, Extra Emily. I had never heard about this person at all. I just know that Extra Emily is one of those dumb people that literally record themselves while streaming and driving. And what's even more crazy to me is that these streamers, they manage to literally record themselves doing crime, and they don't, and nobody, and the police don't really get involved or do anything about it. Personally, with Extra Emily, I don't think getting banned off of Twitch or whatever should be the punishment. I mean, what is she, like Chinese or something? That country has ties with North Korea. I think what should happen to Extra Emily is that she should be sent to a North Korean work prison camp. I feel like that would be way better than just getting banned off of Twitch. Does that sound too harsh? Well, if you're expecting me to have sympathy or empathy for people who make money off of almost causing car accidents, then yeah, no, not at all. In fact, I honestly think that I think the case should be even. I think the punishment should be even worse than that, to be honest.
How much signal I need to cut across 8 lane? None? I turn now. Good luck, everybody else!
People who record themselves doing prank videos to innocent bystanders just being a public nuisance. There was this one case with this one TikToker guy, Heston James. He faces about 9 years of prison if he gets convicted. And yeah, I actually saw some people who were like, "Oh my gosh, 9 years for doing innocent pranks? This guy, that's too harsh." And in my opinion, it's not harsh enough. It'd be funny if, like, during his trial, the judge was like, "I let you go free," and he's like, "LOL, just a prank, bro. Just a prank, bro. I sentence you to death." Now, are all prankster people channels bad? No, it's just that 99% of them are. When the prankster ends up making himself look more like an ass instead of the public, that's when the joke actually works. Like, check out some Eric Andre or some old classic Filthy Frank videos. Usually, the people that are being pranked are, not actually the victims in that case. It's mostly the one doing the prank who looks like the real jackass in that case. And plus, they're funny. The problem with a lot of prank channels is that instead of the prankster humiliating themselves, they're just humiliating other people. And worst of all, like, a prankster going into a store and just being an inconvenience to wage slave minimum wage workers, those workers, they don't even get any of the revenue from the prank channel. They don't get any credit at all. And yeah, that sucks. I would be pretty pissed off if I was like a wage slave Walmart employee and I had to deal with an annoying prankster making bank off of my minimum wage. YouTubers who make a living off of criticizing other people's work, that's okay. I mean, in my opinion, making a living off that way is kind of being a leech. Like you're criticizing someone else's pieces of art while contributing nothing yourself outside of your easy to make criticism. But it is what it is. However, I feel like that when a YouTube critic, uh, who makes a living off of criticizing other people's work, but then they try to make something themselves that ends up being completely awful or mid, then yeah, I think that YouTube critics should like serve a day in jail. Just serve a day in jail for not achieving what you promised. I mean, you're the YouTube critic. You're supposed to be the one who knows about the importance of media and what constitutes as a media. So why is it that you can't make good media yourself? But yeah, just one day in jail for being too ironic. People who record vertically, my God, I hate that. Especially when I'm watching like an animal do something interesting on YouTube, but the recorder decides to film the event vertically. Like, what do you have against horizontal views? People who do this should I don't know, should borderline get the death penalty. People who are attracted to fictional drawings of children, I feel like those types of people, like lolicons or shotacons, I feel like they should serve like a year in prison. People who say that Naruto is better than One Piece because One Piece has a more quote unquote cartoony art style, y'all should be put in prison for like at least a month for having that opinion.